With a strong technical background, he has gathered expertise in different technology areas, especially in open source and Microsoft technologies. Now he serves as the Director of Client Services at Oblak.bg, the first Bulgarian company to start exposing the limitless scalability and unending possibilities of cloud computing technology. He was named as Cloud Champion for the Southeastern Europe region for 2 years. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Peter Rahnev.
Hello everyone, and thank you for being here. I would like to share a few thoughts with you about the regional cloud service provider versus the global ones. Almost every presentation I have seen about cloud started with a well-known analogy about how in the past, when people were building a factory, they had to build a power source for this factory. Then what had happened next, they started to build a global network of power plants, and whoever wants to use power just connects to these global power plants. Why I'm saying this? On Sunday, I was reading an article about Tesla's Powerwall. And in that article, there was a quote from Elon Musk, him saying that I want to free people from the power plants. Why does he want to do that? Is global not good anymore? He wants to do that because there's a very good reason for that. The power plants, they're using fossil fuels, which is not good to the nature. On the other hand, we see that our world is constantly changing. In the past few years, we've seen war, we've seen terrorism, and this is affecting the digital world also. There was a number of countries that were disconnected from various internet services, mostly like social networking. During what happened in Turkey, most of the Twitter, Facebook accounts were blocked, so they cannot stream what is happening. Also, if we look at the sanctions against Russia, in 2014, they were threatened by banning them from the electronic payment systems, and in answer to that, Russians has developed their own payment system. My point here is that when your business is connected to a global service provider, it is very much dependent on the internet connectivity, which can be easily regulated, the governments can apply restrictions to that. On the other hand, when we're talking to the regional cloud service provider, they are more flexible in that because the local connectivities inside the countries cannot be denied by accessing some internet services. So when our business needs a stable connection that will allow him to continue its operations, even something happens, some restrictions are applied, the answer is the regional cloud service provider. Also, we've seen that the governments are trying to push many regulations. We've seen agreements like ACTA, SOPA, PIPA, or Trans-Pacific Partnership, and they're trying to apply as much as restrictions on the internet usage. And when somebody says, my data is in the cloud, and everybody thinks that it's somewhere there. But this cloud has a very specific place. And when we're using a global cloud service provider, it's not very easy to know where the data is. Because the global service providers has many data centers across many countries, and each data center, there is a different regulation about how data is collected, stored, and what can happen with that data. So the regional service providers, on the other hand, they have very clear understanding where the data is. The regulations are accessible to the users, so when your business is storing data in the regional cloud service provider, you know what are the restrictions there. You know that if you have a sensitive data that cannot leave the borders of certain country or cannot leave the borders of certain union like European Union, you know this service provider will always comply to regulations to only one country, not moving the data between countries or even more continents. Regional cloud service provider, they're also more flexible when your business needs some custom implementations, because global service providers, they're serving a large number of users. And for that reason, they provide a streamlined solutions that cannot be changed for nobody. Regional cloud service provider has this flexibility to provide some more custom solutions that will allow your business to grow in a way that it needs to. So when we're talking about the global service provider, as I said, there could be many regulations there. Regional cloud service provider, they are more flexible, and they can provide a more freedom to the users. And if something happens, if we see a restrictions applied, like now when UK is leaving the European Union, if our service provider is hosting UK in data in UK, this data has to be transferred to some other country. So we would have to adapt our business to the new regulations that would eventually apply after this exit happens. So basically that's pretty much from my side. I think that if any of you has any questions, we have a stand over there, so we can continue the discussion there. So thank you very much for your attention.